How about now? Now you can hear me. What's up, ADCT, Carmine, UUN4, Nick last name. Did this last time. I keep doing this. Sorry about that. I have myself muted on OBS, and I keep remembering to turn it back on. How's it going, guys? Good to see you. Excited to go over lore, a couple updates, roadmap update, a lot of exciting stuff to cover, so let's get into it. Actually, I do want to start with one quick announcement, which is that if you haven't already circled it on your calendar, please do. Friday, May 1st, we're doing a gameplay reveal for Vortex Rising. We're going to have an update on streaming rules. Currently, you cannot stream the game. It is under NDA, but that will be changing very soon. So stay tuned for that. And then we have details coming on Dethroned 2020, which is a big, I think, like a unique take on competitive events. And I am really, really excited to share that. So stay tuned for that. It will be pretty hype, I think. And ADCT, yes, we are 1000% set on the gameplay reveal. When Dethroned starts, when the streaming rules move, when you're allowed to stream, when you're not allowed to stream, that will be fudged a little bit, but the gameplay is definitely going out on May 1st. The game definitely stands on its own, and especially with the polishing changes we're going to be making over the coming days and weeks, it will look great. So I'm really excited about that. And hey, everybody, thank you for tuning in. A lot has been going on. I also invited a lot of people from MailChimp, our mailing list, people who signed up for WaveDash way back when, and they'll be joining us soon. So they're going to be getting an email at 6:30 on the dot. We'll see how many people come in and check this out. So please welcome a bunch of new people when they get here. Let them know this is a new project. I'm sure they're going to have a lot of common questions, and I'm going to be leaning on you guys, the chat, to kind of help field that, because I'm not going to be able to go back and answer a lot of the same questions over and over again. So do keep that in mind as we start rolling this stream, that we're going to get a lot of new people in here. So, unfortunately, we're doing the review now, before a lot of these people get in here, but I think it's still a good time to start things off with who we are and what's going on. Just to give a bit of time for the new traffic to start coming in. For those of you who are here in chat, how many of you are in the beta, the pre-beta right now? And what do you guys think of it? Love to hear your thoughts on it, maybe react to it, any feedback you have live, positive, negative, whatever it is. I am hungry for your feedback, whatever it is you want to bring to the table or raise. Let's talk about that, and we'll give maybe 5 minutes for that, and then we'll jump into it. Very pog. Game's all right. Val this year, just to put him on the spotlight a little bit, our top player, he's probably the star competitor in Dethroned 2020, and he has been promoted to a Team Vortex member. He has gotten his hands on the game's code. He's already made his first balance adjustments to Ashani to make her up special a little bit more interactive. Unfortunately, in the middle of his balance patch, I gave him, or in the same patch, I put in a bunch of wave dashing and rushing and air dashing mechanics changes, and so a lot of his changes kind of diluted. UUN says very fast and pog. Murphy says game's very fun and very fast. Carmine says it's definitely the most interesting platform fighter he's ever played. Valnisher says everyone hated his balance change, and immediately he went into Discord and he was like, "Listen, guys, let's give it a chance, okay?" And I was like, "Welcome to the life of game balance. Everything you do, somebody's going to hate it, like really hate it, and so you have to be able to come out and say, hey, we did these changes for this reason. I hear that there's a bunch of different reasons why you don't like it. First of all, did I do a good job of trying to do what I accomplished with my changes? Yes or no? And then, is there a way that we can get the same goal without messing up whatever thing you're upset about over here. And, that's kind of the conversation you want to have. Or you can say, well, look, I understand this is a bad side effect of doing this thing that we want to do. Not even the approach, but like the outcome, the goal of what we're trying to accomplish is going to create this thing. And that's just the way it is. So how do we take that problem and make up for it somewhere else? And when you frame conversations that way, it becomes a constructive conversation where you're constantly building and iterating on things rather than it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad. No, it's good for these reasons. No, it's bad for these reasons. And you can actually have like a substantive conversation. Punish game is very explosive. Absolutely. A lot of the mechanics still feel familiar. I agree with that. Cosmic Scrub, hey, welcome. I don't think I've seen you in YouTube chat before. Welcome. Pre-beta is pretty fun, even without a lot of the polish not being there as of yet. Yes, polish is coming. It is still pre-beta. Even when we go live in September and we are welcoming kind of the masses into the game, we'll still be pre-beta. So this is even pre-beta. You could think of the game. But yeah, polish is coming every day, every week. A lot of stuff is changing constantly, and the team's growing, so very excited. Training modes need polish, yes, so that will come up actually in the roadmap. I'm glad you brought that up, Murphy, and we will talk about that. I'll give it another minute here, and then we'll dive into what the agenda is today, what's going on, who we are, what are the game's objectives, player progression update, a lore update, May roadmap, and then the upcoming event of May 1st. Again, we'll talk about that again. So, I'll jump into it, actually. Welcome anybody who's new and has not been following us. We are fighting game fanatics, making the comeback of a lifetime. Everyone remembers Icon's Combat Arena, or everyone remembers not remembering Icon's Combat Arena, to be completely honest. It was a valiant attempt, but there was a lot that went wrong, and we're here to salvage that game and make it into something really remarkable and really special. And what we're here to do is to make fighting games 10 times bigger. We're not saying they should be 10 times bigger, and that it's bad that they're not. We're saying we believe they deserve to be one of the biggest genres of games. We think there's some of the most skillful gameplay in video games, some of the most strategic gameplay in video games. I mean, our players are literally called gods, and it's crazy to us that our players are ignored by the developers or their skill is underappreciated by the broader gaming community, and we're here to change that. Arrow says, coming at me with a hard-hitting question, I've heard people make light of your lack of professionalism. Would you care to comment on that? So I had a specific tweet. I don't know exactly what you're commenting on, but I will say that there's a specific tweet that basically said that I can be vulgar when I am talking. I'll like swear a lot. I'll drop F-bombs and things like that. And I think that that's not something that I want to do going forward. I want to be very careful about that. I think another problem that I've had, just being very, transparent and putting it, aside and we can keep going, is this is a really stressful job, especially when it's not even a job. Like, no one's paying me to do this. I'm just kind of going out on my own with a dream to make this thing a reality. And whenever I see people being happy about, another game, I'm just like, God, why aren't people excited about this? Like, we're putting so much time and energy, and I'm not sleeping, and I'm working on it so hard, and it's very easy to get bitter, and sometimes I'll let that show publicly, and that's something that I need to be a lot more mindful of. But it comes with the territory of, like, growing as a developer, of growing as a public figure. But I think that the casual relationship with the community is something that I want to maintain, right? Like, I can still be chummy with you all and hang out with you all in the Discord without, dropping F-bombs and kind of being overly casual about it. And I think that works for some people in the esports scene who are professionals. But I think that as a developer, where you're trying to create an open and approachable community, you have to hold yourselves to a higher standard. So I think that it's a balance that I'm trying to navigate. As Carmine says, in this genre, meaning fighting games, coming across overly esports or overly professional, overly buttoned up is actually frowned upon. And so I think that the goal here is I'm trying to find that balance, find a voice that works for me and is authentic to me. And I'm figuring out what's the best way to do that. And I think like being extra vulgar or casual and talking with you guys how I would talk with some of my closest friends is probably not the most appropriate way to do that. So I appreciate the question. I appreciate the feedback. But I do want to get back to this. That's a little bit about me. But I think the real substance here is the game. So let's jump right in. Again, we think that fighting games are some of the most skillful and strategic gaming that's out there. And it's a travesty that they're not bigger than they are. And so what we're trying to do that is by uniting players. So we're making a game that's half platform fighter, half anime fighter, half tag team fighter, right? And it's blended them together. And then we have all of these other game modes that come out of that core, one-on-one pedestal experience that we care the most about. And we can have co-op game modes and mini games and team-based game modes that kind of fall off from that one-on-one experience. And the importance of those extra stuff, is that it appeals to people who don't play fighting games. They go, I don't want to play a fighting game. And you can say, hey, I actually really like team games. I really like mini games. I love Mario Party. I love co-op, RPGs. And so we want to have stuff that scratches that itch. Hello, Laron. Welcome. Welcome, Blurb. PowerPoint presentation time. Yes, there is a lot to cover. And we're doing a lot of cool things, I think. So, yes, we do have a tag battle game mode. Oh, no, there's a typo. Skillful. Am I not spelling that right? I don't know how to spell, guys. I'm going to be honest. That's me being... and I don't have time to spell things right. Like, I just got to keep going, So, we will 10 times fighting games. That's our goal. That's what we're trying to do. You don't have to agree with us, but if you believe that fighting games should be the biggest genre, we want to help make it happen. And we want to get where fighting games are watched 15, 20 times more than they are today. And if you just look at this chart, it's possible. If you imagine all of the hype, all of the excitement around fighting games, look at how little they're watched relative to other genres. We can do better. We think we can do better. And so that's what we're here to do. So, game objectives. We have 4 things that we care about. The game, the one-on-one experience. Then there's the broader experience, the mini games, the co-op, the team-based game modes, the connection that our players have with one another. That's like the ecosystem, right? It's bigger and broader than the community. And this presentation, like our other ones, we highlight the ones we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about a little bit about the game, but mostly the experience and the ecosystem, especially with, Vito brings up Project L, Riot's game. I think that is a great thing to talk about, actually. My thought on Project L, I might be wrong, my thought on Project L is kind of like what League did. So League made MOBAs really popular, and like everybody made a MOBA after League made a MOBA. But that's the thing, they made them after League made a MOBA. We're going to be making a fighting game technically before Project L. We'll be live before Project L will be live, and I think that they're going to make a wake. Project L is Riot. They're working on a fighting game. I would guess that they're probably going to announce it next year, launch it, do their beta the year after that. They're going to be quite a delayed timeline, and I think that that's probably when we're going to be hitting a bit of a stride with our launch. And even if they're a year early, and they're coming out next year, we'll already be live by then. And everyone trying to kind of follow in their footsteps and make a cool fighting game, we're already going to be live. We're already going to be operating. And, there's stuff that we can borrow from them, and there's stuff they'll probably borrow from us. And because we're already live, we can, capture some of that hype and that energy that's going into their game. I think that theirs is more of a traditional fighter. I don't know. I've heard that they've gone back to the drawing board a few times. So maybe they're making a platform fighter now. Maybe they're making a traditional fighter. I don't know. But I would be surprised if they weren't doing something like what we are, where they're trying to fuse multiple fighting genres together. One Cent says, honestly, with Riot's fighting game and fighting games as a whole, there's less need for competition than in MOBAs because FGC players regularly play more games. This is another really interesting thing about Project L, guys, is if you look at Valorant, bringing in all these MOBA players into the FPS genre, they're going to bring a lot of their MOBA players, a lot of their Valorant players into fighting. And that's a lot of new people who are brand new. And, will they like the first fighting game that they try? Maybe, maybe not. They don't normally play fighting games. So they might say, hey, I tried Project L. Let me try another fighting game. And hopefully they'll think about trying us. So I think that it's something that actually helps us a lot. Because what Riot's going to end up doing is helping us with 10xing fighting games. So to me, it feels like we're very aligned rather than competitive. That's my thoughts on them. So thank you, Vento, for that question. So what we're trying to do here is make the most combo-centric, the most expressive, and the most fast-paced fighting game, period. Not fastest platform fighting game, not fastest anime fighting game, fastest fighting game, period. And based on the feedback I've gotten, I think that we're hitting that mark. And I would love for you guys to try it. If you haven't yet, you can get the pre-beta for free by going to vortexrising.com and trying it out. In terms of our experience, again, we want to have dozens of game modes. We currently have, I think, 8 or 9 different game modes that are online. And these are opportunities for us to flaunt your skill, but also to hook in new players. We don't want the one-on-one combat to be the thing that attracts new players. So we don't want to make that approachable or simplified or watered down. We want to make the experience what brings in all the players. The community, the team game modes, the mini games, the contests, the territory battles, the dojo battles, stuff like that. Not the one-on-one hardcore gameplay. Making that dumbed down, I think, is counter to what we want to do by making an impressive and fast-paced fighting game. So we are thinking about that in terms of approachability. In terms of the connection, we want the game to have global access, peer-to-peer matchmaking, and the best rollback netcode in fighting games. I think our netcode is there right now. We have a 2-frame input delay, 3 frames if you're over a certain amount of ping, and that is with no added delay. So you're 0 to 2 frames from your controller to your screen, and then if you're online above certain ping, it's +1 frame rate or more. Frame delay or more. In terms of GGPO, Vento, that's another great question. I'm really glad you're here. You're asking great questions. We are using our own netcode, which is basically GGPO, but I would argue, but better for what we're doing. So GGPO is like a one-on-one networking system, and we are, multiplayer. We have team game modes. We have 6 people playing together. GGPO is not great for that, so we basically our own modified GGPO. It is deterministic. It is lockstep. It is rollback. We call it DLR, deterministic lockstep rollback netcode, and that's what we have. So instead of GGPO, we have DLR. Are you guys going to reuse the artwork and assets from icons? I think that it would be a waste to throw it away, but we are definitely modifying it, and you'll see how the game is looking different already. In terms of the ecosystem, we want to share the spoils with players, organizers, streamers, and artists, and that's going to be starting immediately with the streaming embargo lift. When that happens, you'll see how we're trying to share the success and wealth of the game with streamers and organizers and artists. And I'm really excited to get that kicked off later this summer. One Set has a question about skill-based matchmaking. That will be coming, but it's not really pre-beta territory. So it's coming, but not immediately. So, player progression update. This was something we talked about last stream. I talked about we don't really want tutorials. We want a learning experience that's fun and immersive and kind of mindlessly happening. So I have the screenshot from Fortnite where you, whether you know it or not, you are being trained how to aim when you're mining. Because you're mining and then the target appears and you turn and you hit it and then the target. So you're learning how to aim when you're mining, and we want this to feel like that. Aiden says, what are hardware requirements? I would say mid to low level will be good enough to run it. And that comes with the art style change. So in terms of post-game stats, we wanted to make it really easy for you to dimensionalize your gameplay skill and understand where you need to improve. And so we've updated this since the last time we've talked about it. Not all of these are in game, but we show you your neutrals 1. And this is really interesting because we have like Smash Pros, or Guilty Gear Pros, or Brawlhalla Pros coming in, and they'll play our top players, and their neutrals 1 versus our best people's neutral 1 are very close. I mean, it depends on the matchup, it depends on the person, but neutrals 1 is really close usually, and that just comes down to fighting game fundamentals. Their fundies are really good, they know what they're doing, they can win neutral a lot, but then where do they go from there? So are they finishing their openers? So we'll talk about what openers are. Are they finishing their openers? Are they converting their openers into KOs? And so those are their OR and their CR, respectively. And then we have how many hits per neutral 1. And you'll be able to see the way that the play style differs across characters and players with the differences in their neutrals 1, their OR and CR, and their HPN, and then you've got, of course, their sparks per minute. Sparks is our signature mechanic. It's what makes the game the fastest, most flexible, most expressive fighting game. Basically, you can cancel anything into anything, and you basically want to use it every single attack. When you're new to the game, we say try to get your spark rate to 100%. Try to get your SPM to like 20 or higher if you can. But obviously, you're not going to want to waste it. It is a resource. There's nuance there that's not worth going into right now, but it is a crazy mechanic. It's our defining mechanic, and it's really, really fun to play with, and it makes the game really smooth. Kevin's got a great question about wave dashing. Hopefully, you guys in chat can answer him, but the short answer is yes, and it's really fun to use. In terms of the art, Cody, we've got a great answer for you. I'd love for you to check out the gameplay itself. The art is really good looking now, and the art style has changed to more of a toon style, which is allowing it to run on lower end computers. So here's the thing about these stats. Neutrals 1 times your opener success rate times your closing success rate equals your KOs. It's that smooth. And so you go, okay, I'm not winning enough neutrals, so that's a problem. I'm not completing my openers, so I'll talk about what openers are. I'm not completing those, so I need to practice that. Or I'm not able to convert my openers into closing situations. And so you'll understand the area of your gameplay that you're failing in, and you can work on it. And I think where we want to go with this is actually be able to say to you at the end of the game, hey, this is what percentile you're in for this character. You're improving, you're getting worse, whatever. And here's a game mode, a mini game, a fun game to play to grind that skill and get better at it. So let's talk about neutral. Everyone knows what neutral is. How does our computer know what neutral is? Anytime the opponent has touched the ground or ledge, think of like having a flag on, I'm in neutral. So if I touch the ground, I touch the ledge, I'm in neutral, and if you hit me, that counts as a neutral win. And then I'm no longer in neutral until I touch the ground or ledge again. And then, boom, I'm in neutral again. If you hit me again, that's another neutral win. So basically, anytime you hit me and then I touch the ground, I've now reset back to neutral. So this is how we measure what an opener is. An opener is a quick succession of hits to start a combo. So success looks like this. Attack, spark, cancel, attack. Failure looks like if I get less than 2 attacks before neutral is reset. So we can say, okay, I'm in neutral, you hit me once, I land on the ground, I touch the edge, you did not succeed your opener. And we can actually dimensionalize this by which knockback band the opponent is in. So we can say, hey, when your opponent is in blue health, your opener success rate is 100%. But when they're in yellow, your success rate is 5%. And so you can, again, understand where in your gameplay you need to improve. And so we're going to try to dimensionalize that in terms of where you're dropping your combos. Are you dropping it in green health, blue health, orange health, yellow health? If you don't know, health is basically a knockback bracket, like instead of being 0%, 30%, 60%, 120%, it's like blue health, red health, whatever. And instead of a spectrum, it's like bands. And so this is like a cross between Smash, where it basically penalizes people who try to memorize their combos, and it makes it a lot harder. And traditional fighting games, where if you just memorize a combo, it always works. It's kind of in between that. So you'll have to keep in mind when mid-combo you knock someone into a new bracket. It's a little bit of dimension on that gameplay dynamic. In terms of what openers look like, there is a range of safe openers, reliable openers, and flexible openers. And you have trade-offs. A safe opener is a special cancel. I attack, I get a spark. If I hit you, I get a spark. And then I can immediately special cancel, and I can cancel the attack and special attack at the same time. It's the safest option. A more less safe option, more flexible option, is a jump cancel. So I attack, I get a spark, and then I jump. Now I've got movement. I can go forward, backwards, up, short hop, full hop. I've got some options there. And then I cancel at the same time. And now, instead of only using special attacks, I can use special attacks, or I can use aerial attacks, and I can use them after frame 6, because I'm like jumping, so there's a jump squat, so it's like instead of a special cancel, I'm punching, boom, like up special. A jump cancel will be like, I'm punching, okay, I'm jump squatting, I jump up, now I can use whatever move. Rush cancel is the most flexible, but it's the least safe. I can rush. Rush is like air dodge. It doesn't have invincibility frames, and you can use it, unlike jumping, where you can kind of go like upwards, forwards, up, or up, back. Rush you can use in any direction you want, including in place. You can rush in place. Super flexible, and if you rush in place and you're on the ground or you're in the air and you rush to the ground, you can now use any attack, including ground attacks, and the trade-off here is you can do it on frame 11. So again, safe, reliable, flexible, special cancel, jump cancel, rush cancel. So many different ways to play the game. So many different ways to chain combos together. And we're going to have a video soon. When we do the gameplay reveal, we'll hopefully have accompanying videos showing off an overview of the character moves, the openers, their defensive options, and their KO setups. So really excited to get that out there so you guys can all appreciate how this all works. An important thing to keep in mind is that as you go into higher and higher knockback bands, you have to use the more flexible options. You can't stick with a safe thing, because if their knockback band is too high, you can't use a safe option because you're just not close enough. So you're going to have to use the riskier moves to get that movement to chase them down to close, to finish your opener. And that's just something to keep in mind. In fact, we have super jumps, which is another option, which is probably like a cross between reliable and flexible, because you can use it on frame 6, but it's not very flexible. A super jump, you just 45-degree angle or boom, 90 degrees straight up, and you just mega jump. It's like a hyper hop, whatever you want to call it. And it is another option that you can use when you're in very late stage knockback bands, like orange or red, and they're close to dying. So closing options is KOing, and so we measure your KO, your closing success rate as a function of how many openers did you succeed, how many neutrals did you get 2 hits on, and then of those, how many times did you KO your opponent. And that will be really interesting to see across the spectrum. Right now, we know, not in terms of hits per neutral won, but neutrals per KO, our top players are getting 6 neutrals per KO when they're dominating. So they win neutral on you 6 times, you're dead. or less. And in a more average game, it's more like 8 to 10 times. So those are going to be in all the stats and all of the games, and we're doing that. Another update is our online training mode is now live. So we have people in our community who are called sages. There are also people who don't go by that title but are still happy to help you out. And if you join our Discord, you sign up for the pre-beta for free, you get your Discord code, you join the Discord, you get your pre-beta code, you go, I don't know what to do. There is an online training mode where someone can literally take you in, they can set and reset health to whatever different knockback band, they can lock the health in place, and you can practice those openers or those closing setups that we'll be teaching you about. And so it's really fun, really easy. We were originally going to call it mentor mode, but I'm happy that it's live now. We just call it training mode because everyone knows what that is, and it's a lot of fun. So we use this for when we're showing our consultants, our top players from different fighting games. Like we'll take them into this mode because we can also, for example, put on perma-spark. That's another thing we can do. So we can make it so that instead of having to earn a spark every time you hit somebody, we can just say spark is always on, and you can just practice super jumping or practice cancel combos that you normally would have to successfully hit in order to practice. Now you can just do it, right? This is coming soon. I'm really excited about it. I want to get this in before May 1st. By the way, Levi, if you're looking for gameplay, you can sign up and play it right now. Our gameplay reveal will be May 1st. Until then, you'll have to sign up and play the game under NDA. Where? Right here, May 1st. Probably going to be like 6:30 or 8 o'clock. But if you sign up at vortexrising.com right now, you'll have a beta code. You'll be able to watch the game, play the game in less than an hour. So do that. Yeah, you can play right now. Go to vortexrising.com, sign up, and you'll be playing the game in less than an hour. And if not, you can DM me and I'll get you a code because you should get one. Thank you, Vento. Love to hear what your thoughts, especially after the thoughtful questions today. So thank you for that. All right, lore update. Thank you, Kevin. I would love to get your feedback too. Feel free to DM me. I'm Kakovalik in the Discord. So lore update. I think this is always exciting. It's always fun to talk about this. Discord. You can DM me on Discord, Kevin. When you get in, you'll see me. I'm like everywhere. So I would say less than an hour from you sign up, you get an email in like a minute, you join, you go into the Discord, you DM the bot. There's a bot that you DM with your email that you use to sign up, and then we give you the code. And then you get the code, you install the game, you'll be playing it. I'm saying fully installed everything within an hour. But yeah, there's a little bit of like admin stuff, but like it's all very fast and snappy. So yeah. Lore stuff. So let's talk about the lore. If you've been following our story, there's a little bit of lore that we've already kind of covered, which we're going to touch on really briefly. One, there are towers. There is a magical material. And that there are these powerful deity-like beings called Weir. And we also have real-life Weir, who are the best player in the world for a certain character. We also have Weir for like different game modes. So for our tag team game mode, we're going to have a Weir duo who are the best at that game mode. But in the game's lore, the Weir are like these deities who sit atop these towers. And so the world is held together. It's got a bunch of issues. Basically, what happened was there was this magical material, which is like a crystal, and we're calling it Aggrium for now. And what happened was this Aggrium core, by magic, by an event, we don't know what happened. It's kind of mysterious. It basically exploded, and like this crystal like erupted into the planet, and it shattered it. Some pieces of the planet are held together by like shish kebab crystals. This crystal is also magic, and it has floating properties. So now some of the continents are now floating, but still kind of sucked in the gravity of the planet. So the planet's in pretty bad shape. But what's interesting about it is that there's 3 distinct biomes. Wally, great question. Let me address that really quickly. If you bought icons, you will have the icons definitive edition in your Steam for free. That will be in your Steam account, your Steam library. You'll have that. If you don't, let me know. I'll give you the code for it. It's a $5 game. You'll get that for free. That's gone to everybody who bought icons or bought anything in icons. And then if you want to support this game, it's really a separate project. But it's you have a skill set that will carry over from icons, and I hope that you like this new game and where it's going. But the important thing about icons, people, anyone who paid anything for icons, is that we've given you the icons Legacy Edition for free, and you have that forever, and that's not going away. Which is better than where things were left off, where the servers were shut down and the game wasn't available. So the first thing that we did as Vortex Games was polish that off, get the definitive edition out and live. So now that is permanent and there. And yeah, you should have that. It should be in your library. And if you don't, DM me, and I will give you a Steam key. To be completely honest, I don't recommend you play it because it is, it's icons. It's a great, sturdy, fundamental platform fighter. But it's not, it's not something that excites me. It's not something that excited people when it debuted. And it's very different from Vortex Rising. Obviously, I'm biased, but we do give you that, and I hope you are happy with that. If you have Legacy Edition, that's what I'm talking about. The Legacy Edition is the definitive edition. Now, back to the lore. The world's held together. Now, what's interesting about it has 3 different biomes, and these biomes have different relationships with Aggrium, this material. The outer layer, which is kind of like nature-y, chill. They worship the Aggrium. They use it for like homeopathic, medicinal remedies. The middle biome is very techy. They harvest the Aggrium. They use it for technological advancement. They have floating technology, powerful technology, kind of futuristic cities and things like that. And they have this very aggressive, kind of capitalistic relationship with Aggrium. And then you've got the inner biome, which literally depend on Aggrium for survival. And you can see kind of like how this relationship with Aggrium is like escalating and getting more severe. Each of these biomes has their own tower, which is built around a massive protrusion of crystal, of Aggrium crystal, and the tower serves a different function. So if you're on the outer biome, it's like a temple. It's where you pay homage, you go to get blessings, you go to get healed. It's like a pretty chill, relaxed place. In the middle biome, it's a market. There's constantly zeppelins flying in and out, dropping off goods, picking up the harvested stuff. It's distributing power, and it's giving that to everybody. And then there's the inner biome, where the tower is a fortress. It's a position of power. It's a really, really strong kind of fortress. It's a position of power. And yes, we've got a temple and a fortress, which is kind of reference art, concept art, if you will. And so too are these. But the middle one here, that's actually the cargo stage that we have. And that's the backdrop, which we're actually working on. Kenji, you don't have the Legacy Edition. If you join the Vortex Rising Discord and you DM me, you'll get both games for free. So if you bought anything on Icons, you should have Legacy Edition, and you can get this game in pre-beta for free. So, yes. So let's talk about the plot, simply. It's not much to go into at this point, but essentially Aggrium is destabilizing. The world is on the brink of falling apart again. Hey, Kevin, if your bot said the key is undefined, give it a minute. I will try to get that to you after the stream, if not sooner. And if not sooner, it's because the bot just updated. It takes a few minutes. So the plot is that Aggrium is destabilizing. The planet was held together. It's now falling apart. The mortals are all blaming each other. The top biome thinks it's the middle biome. The middle biome thinks the top biome doesn't know what they're talking about. The inner biome's kind of doing their own thing. And eventually the Weirs, these super deities, get involved and intervene in what's happening. And that's roughly the plot. As like a tentative idea, we have, Zhurong, who's not the Weir, but is basically running the middle biome. We have, and she's like this diehard evil queen, basically, ruler of this space. She's, Wei Shan, who's still her sibling, even in the retcon lore, or somehow got a relationship, has been cast out, and he's gone down into the inner biome to get reinforcements, to get power, to overthrow her. And so with all of this stuff kind of happening, Zhurong's kind of thinking, I'm pretty sure Wei Shan's somehow involved in what's going on here. And maybe he is. Or maybe we're going to change the script. But that's currently what we're thinking, and I'm pretty excited about where this is going, that there's an interesting story, that there's conflict. It's not just like a tournament or a contest or a spectator sport. And there's like a real story here, and it's something that we're going to evolve on and tell more about over time. So, updated stages. So in terms of the space stages, we are now going to be adapting them to take place in and around these towers. So for example, for the outer biomes tower, we want to have a stage set at the very, very top of that tower in the altar room, where, the top of the crystal is there, the Pope of the religion of the temple lives in that room, or spends a lot of time in that room. And so we have this altar image here that we want to have that be adapted to, for example. And really excited to get that built out. We also want to have opportunities to connect with our characters. So Zana has had her name changed several times. And she's kind of our joke character at this point. I've gone to make her name more and more outrageous every single time people complain about it enough. I just go, okay, I'm going to make it even crazier now. So her name right now in the game is Zarknar. Erda is her title. She is the Pope of the religion right now. That is her title. She is Erda Zarknar, or she is the Erda for the outer biome people. And what's funny about it is she is still a wrestler, so she is this Pope person who loves to wrestle. And that is her deal. Her name is Erda Zarknar, and I think it's fun to not take the game so seriously, and have people with fun names like this, or fun things about this character that it's just fun, right? We're here to play games, and so the fun thing about Erda, of course, is, if you don't know, URDA with a little squiggly is a cheese, and she is our grappler, and she is a very cheesy character. So there you go. Everything is not serious with this character, and she'll probably have gimmick animations and things like that are just fun ways to have fun with the game and our lore and everything else. So she's this Pope, leader of this peaceful religion, but she's very into wrestling. Maybe wrestling is a ritualistic thing they do. I don't know yet, but she's a wrestler, and she's the Pope, and her name is named after a cheese. And her actual name is Zarknar. So, fun thing we want to do is, I think, one of the things that we want to do at the beginning of the game, if you're a new player, is picking that character. And so we want to do a quiz for new players at the beginning of the game. Which hero are you? Where would you rather sit? Which Harry Potter character are you? and we'll have this basically give you your personality and give you a character that should fit to your personality. And so if I asked you guys here, where would you rather sit? Would you rather sit in this elaborate throne, or would you sit, find a shady, comfortable spot under this tree or in the branches, right? Like, where would you rather sit? What sounds like something that you would say? Would you rather, are you more likely to say, me, Zarknar, you die, or are you someone who would say, I never miss? And if you're familiar with our game and our characters, you have a pretty good idea of who these people all apply to. So I think that this is a fun thing to do. And yeah, it's not meant to be taken too seriously. It's not like we're going to say, well, you picked this person, so now you can't play anyone else unless you pay money. It would literally be like, hey, like, if you want an opinion, if you want to find out who you're suited to, take the quiz. If you don't care, skip it. It's not a big deal. So, with that, let's talk about the roadmap and what we're working on. Cicero is going to take the quiz every time until he gets it wrong. He's just going to be like, okay, well, that was wrong. Like, I need it. Clearly, my personality is different than what I thought it was. And he's going to try to, keep getting cheese it until he gets zoo wrong. So, first thing on the roadmap is updating the UI. We want to make it feel a little bit more thematic, get the Aggrium crystals in the UI. So here, those crystals on the side are lives. Those are the lives. And then we've got the 5 if you've got more than 3. So you'd have to deplete that down to 3, and then those would start ticking down. There's the health bar. It's currently color-coded. As you can see, the damage being dealt is red. Raymer's got a bullet mechanic, so you can see his bullets at the bottom. Reversals are not shown here, but the way that would be is the circle around the character would be lit, so it would be like a bright teal, like the inner band that would be a lot thicker if they had it, and then if they're spent, it's just not there and it's empty. So that's how that one would work. And the electricity, obviously, that's like spanning the whole thing. That is the spark. So you've got the spark. If you hit someone and then it's lit up, you've got the electricity and you can spend it. If you're looking for the Discord link, it is invite only. You have to sign up at vortexrising.com and you'll be emailed the Discord link after you sign up there. Dr. the 10th. And I think a couple other people were asking for the Discord link. Sign up to vortexrising.com and you will get the Discord link. And when you join the Discord, you will be DM'd by a bot who you can give the email that you gave the website to, and they will give you a code. Next, VFX. So one of the things in fighting games that happens a lot is they just kind of flash, like, I'm charging right now, or I'm invincible right now, or I'm stunned right now. And it's like, why are you flashing? Like, that doesn't make sense. So this is something where we wanted to, if you remember at the beginning, what we wanted to do was have elements that aren't in fighting games. We want to draw on like RPGs. If you're stunned, you've got like static or like stars around you. If you're invincible, you're like glowing and there's an aura coming out of you. If you've got a shield, it's not like a bubble, but it's like magic that you're, conjuring. And so there's VFX that we're going to do there for invincibility, for charging, for stunned. I think invincibility and stunned is still in the game now. Charging, I need to add that. Damage numbers is something that will be optional, and you will get to turn that off. Damage numbers is like in Fortnite, if I shoot you and it's like 80 damage, like the numbers that appear over your head, like we'll put those into the game and that will be optional. And again, we're trying to make this feel like it's not a fighting game to people who don't want to play a fighting game. And then for those who do like fighting games, it's either helpful in training mode at the very least, or it's something that you can turn off. And it's just helpful. California Rays asks about percentage. Those of you in chat who understand how our knockback ban system can answer his question, not to repeat myself too much. Game feel and polish is next. There's little things where we need to buffer certain things. There are dropped inputs that need to get kind of polished out. There are accidental inputs that need to be kind of prevented. There are intuitive options that are not currently possible. And so there's all of these little things that we're going to be working on as well behind the scenes. And of course, all of this goes without saying that we are balancing the game constantly, especially with Valnashir and Cicero joining. One thing that's also missing from this is these slides are the signature movement options. So we are going to be changing the rush mechanic so that it does a specific character-specific like interaction or mechanic. So for Raymer, he'll be reloading his bullets whenever he rushes. If you're Afigalu, whenever you rush, you'll like activate your idle statue and it'll use like a shine ability and it'll like explode with fire or water every single time you rush. And there's a bunch of other examples like that for the different characters that we're working on right now. And I actually talk about that in depth in another stream that we did, and you can find on our YouTube channel. For game lobbies, especially when we are streaming and there are streamers and they want to invite people in, we want to have passwords for that. We want to have host privileges so that they can like kick people out, or lock it so that if they're, hey, I'm a spectator and I want to come play, like you can lock it so they're stuck as a spectator. We also have a bug in the game right now, which is if you alt tab a lot, it will like cause issues with the game. We're currently trying to fix that. And those are like, fun features and then like game development, weird bugs that you find, right? And there's a lot of that's in the mix here that's not necessarily called out, but that alt tab one is a pretty big one because it causes a lot of issues because if anybody alt tabs, it could crash the lobby. So it's like, and it doesn't always happen, but it's like, I don't know, 5% of the time, but that's a lot of the time, anytime anybody alt tabs. If you got a lobby of 6 people, one guy alt tabs, it's like Russian roulette every single time. So we're trying to fix that. So we've got offline training mode recording of inputs that we're working on, and we want to get that in. We'll be the first platform fighter that I'm aware of that allows you to record CPU inputs and practice against yourself. The Endless Runner minigame, which is a lot of fun. We're going to be adding a co-op and a PvP and a kind of like ghost version where you can play alongside people, but you're not cooperating with them, you're not playing against them, you're just kind of all independently in your own thing, and you can see how well or bad people are doing. And then I've got a secret team mode part 2, which is not the tag team mode. That's currently in the beta, but there's another game mode which I'm really excited about, and that might even work. The tag team mode works 2-on-2 or 3-on-3 as you'd expect. This one might work well with like 4-on-4 or even more. So I'm really interested to see how that comes together. Stages, as I talked about, we are updating them to fit the lore. This will not be complete before May 1st, and so if we end up streaming, allowing streams to happen, these stages will have a giant prototype flag with an exclamation point so that everybody knows this is not a finished stage. Or not even like finished for pre-beta. It's like literally, it's pre-beta stage. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. But as soon as we do get those in, we will roll them in. I talked about this one already. So now, upcoming events. Friday, May 1st. If you don't want to sign up and you don't want to play, even though you could be playing it right now for free, that's fine. You do you. But we will be revealing the game publicly on May 1st. Friday, we'll have an update on when you're allowed to stream the game. We're going to have an update on Dethroned. By the way, there is a tournament happening tonight, right now, basically, at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. In 40 minutes, there's a tournament. If you join our Discord, you can watch the tournament. You can see the gameplay yourself. It is a Swiss bracket, so we'll only be selecting the most exciting matches to watch. And so it should be a pretty good spectator experience. It should be a pretty fun player experience because you don't get eliminated. And we do have prizing for tournaments Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Tuesday and Thursday are Swiss. Saturday is a double elimination bracket. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we have kind of casual Swiss tournaments where there's no prizing and it's just kind of fun playing. So literally every day we have a tournament, and that's fun. Tiger says, do you have to get 3 referrals for Discord to get the key? No, you don't. Referrals are just for bonuses if you want those. You don't have to refer anyone to get the key. By the way, this is the first time I'm saying this, but on May 1st, we will stop giving away keys. So if you don't sign up on the website before May 1st, we're going to stop giving away keys, and there'll be a new process for getting keys that isn't like you sign up, you get a free key. You're not going to pay for it or anything like that, but it's going to be harder to get them. We'll be rolling them out a lot slower. Will it be on Steam? Right now we're on Steam, yes. And that might change, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be on Steam. So, thank you very much. At this point, I'm going to start getting ready for the tournament. I hope to see you all in the Discord, in our community. This stream is archived. It's public. You can share it with your friends. Tell them about the game. I hope that you do. We're working really hard here. Again, comeback of a lifetime, turning icons into something completely different with a fresh set of ambitions and goals. And really excited for what the future holds because things are looking really great, even though we're just starting out. We're still pre-beta, but it feels like we're building some serious momentum here. And again, welcome to all the new people. Hope that you stay tuned for us. Please give us a follow on Twitter at the Vortex Rising. We are posting updates more frequently there, and would love for you to check that out. Got Moxie or Astrocat, etc. If you guys haven't gotten an email from Referral Hero, so you sign up, you get Referral Hero, which is our email processor. They're gonna say confirm your email address. You confirm it, and then you'll get an email from us saying that you're going to. Here's your Discord link. So check your spam. If you don't have it, you can email me at chris@vortexrising.com. And then if you go into the Discord and it says that your key is undefined, I'm going to fix that for you right now. So DM me, Kakovalik, on Discord. I'm going to say hi in general to anyone who's new, and if you join, and I will just say, hey, initiates, that's everyone who's new. If you don't have a key, DM me the email you used to sign up, and I will get you your key. Email me if you can't get a Discord link. And then if you can't get if your Steam key is undefined, DM me in Discord, and I will make myself known in Discord. But yeah, do check your email. It might be going slow. This is kind of like a big push for us, so maybe our bot's a little bit slow at getting those emails out, but they will be soon. Got Mox. If you don't see it, maybe try a different email. What might have happened is that for whatever reason, our system thought your email was fake, or it's verifying it some other way. So if you don't get your email, you can try a different email to sign up, and hopefully that one works. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Really excited to see you guys in the Discord. Really excited to get your feedback. And yeah, this is just the beginning, and hope to see you all on May 1st if I don't see you in the Discord for the tournament right now. Have a good time, guys. Oops. Bye.